obviously God or, any divine power would never discriminate against you based on your skin color. So I think over time I've come to accept and realize that we're all the same. We're all just one.
So, growing up, I learned that there were many different Hindu gods and goddesses that portrayed a really dark skin tone. And for example, Lord Krishna, Ram, and Shiva, rather than being expressed in like very dark brown colors, they were expressed in blue instead. And at the same time, I would see goddess Parvati and like protagonist Draupadi from the Mahabharata. They're known to have darker skins too. So we see that in our ancient Hindu history that these gods and goddesses were depicted as beautiful and talented and, divine. Yet now, after colonization and just a Western culture perspective, you see that a lot of young Indian girls and boys struggle on a daily basis with wanting to become lighter or change their skin tone or use Fair and Lovely, these different brands to change their skin tone. Did you ever deal with the problems of colorism growing up?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 100%. I grew up in Kerala, and it was very normalized like colorism was just a very normalized experience, I think, even amongst I have a sister, and people would compare me and her saying, oh, your sister is so much lighter, like you should do something to be lighter just like her, right? So even within your own families, people will tell you that you need to be lighter to look beautiful, or you need to stay away from the sun, don't get too dark. Like these are just very common phrases thrown around without, I guess, people realizing the weight of what that really means, especially to young, impressionable people. You start to believe that you're not good enough because of your skin tone, when in reality, if even when you look within spirituality, it doesn't, spiritually speaking, we are all just souls, and that there's no color that defines this physical vessel, this body that we have. Is it doesn't mean anything. The color of the skin means absolutely nothing, but in our society we are made to feel like, those with darker skin tones are somehow inferior, which is very sad because I see how much it's affected so many people mentally over the years. I mean, even telling women, oh, you need to, get lighter so you can get married, and just very, very dehumanizing things like that to people of darker skin tones. I've definitely experienced that. And I think moving to America, it was very eye-opening for me as an immigrant when I first came to this country, and I started seeing people tanning everywhere. And I thought, oh, like all these people that are of lighter skin tone are wanting to be tanner. And back in India, people that are darker are wanting to be lighter. It's like it's just, it really opened my eyes to realize that it's really a human problem. Like obviously God or, any divine power would never discriminate against you based on your skin color. So I think over time I've come to accept and realize that we're all the same. We're all just one consciousness, in different vessels. So I think although I did experience that and it did affect me as a young person, now that I'm much older, I have overcome it to a certain extent, and I still hear comments like that all the time. So it hasn't really gone away, and I hope through more representation of darker skinned people on social media and just portraying that everyone is beautiful regardless of whatever their skin color is. I think showing that on popular platforms like Instagram, for example, it's been helping people. I'd like to think, and I hope we continue to work on that. Colorism is such a huge issue in our communities, and I hope we continue to work on that daily. And especially, I think the biggest thing when it comes to colorism is addressing these comments that family and friends make. I think it's really hard for us to speak up when a family member or a friend says it and you just kind of take it as a joke. But I think we need to start calling out people and kind of questioning, like, hey, why did you say that? Even if it's your own parents, like, you have to kind of step up. If we want to see real change, I think we have to start from within, and we have to start from the people closest to us. So yeah, friends and family, like correcting them and being better ourselves. Like, nobody's perfect, right? Even we have these preconceived notions about skin tones and colors and all of this stuff, even within us, that we may not even know. We might not even realize that we feel that way and think that way because of the way that we were conditioned to feel. So I think it's a lot of inner work and a lot of work to be done within our small like inner circles. So once we start from there, I think we can really make a huge difference.